Hi everyone, my name is Bianca. I go by the name of Honeybee on this channel, and I talk about a lot of things. Okay, so I talk about shifts, I talk about spirituality, I talk about humanity, and I talk about my wisdom, my creativity, everything that I just love talking about. This is the channel for it. So in this video, I wanted to share something very personal and something that is a revelation that I received. And I know that a lot of people can relate to this, and maybe just by me explaining it, people can understand it even more. I realized that trauma can have an effect on your income, and trauma can have an effect on how you view yourself, how you see yourself, and how you like to present yourself. In early videos, I expressed about how I grew up poor, and I grew up with a mindset of scarcity. Like, I didn't have anything in my home. Like, it was really very sad. And, there was hardly any food. There was hardly any kind of, you know, there was really hardly any food. And obviously with food, there was hardly any, security financially and emotionally and physically. And yeah, I grew up a lot, eating in other people's home. I grew up always feeling empty, always feeling like, I didn't have enough. And that was the mindset that was growing constantly, with so many things that were happening at home. And and we weren't really, we were actually poor. We but on the world in the world, or like the way we viewed life, or how can I explain it, on the outside, we didn't look like we were always poor, because there are certain communities, especially in the Black community, that know how to cover up. And it's not just the Black community. I think it's also the middle class. We know how to cover up our pain. We know how to cover up a lot of things, just to look and be impressing, just to impress people, and buy things that we can't really afford. So it's a human thing. But yeah, so it was just a very, very sad situation, basically, because everybody is struggling financially, whether we really admit it or not. But some things are really deeply rooted in trauma, in the past, in family as well. And I realized that, like, all of the things that I've gone through as a child, and all of the things that I've gone through personally, it has always and somehow kind of affected my relationships and my income. And just like my family, and just like my relationships, there was a level of instability that was reflected in my finances. And this is something that's very, very, it's a hard pill to swallow. But now that I've been doing a lot of healing, I wanted to speak about this, because I know a lot of people go through things that they don't understand. Like, why am I always broke? Why am I always feeling, like I don't have enough? Like, the spirit of scarcity, and this mindset of scarcity, it comes even within love, within relationships, within friends. Like, I don't have enough, she has enough, he has enough, I don't have enough. And I just wanted to explain to you that trauma has an effect on our income of information, our income of insight, any form of incoming messages. You understand? It's not always money, but trauma has a way to block out certain things. Trauma has a way to make us self-sabotage. And even when we do have money, we don't know how to spend it properly. Even when we do have love, we don't know how to enjoy it and feel it and respect it, because of the trauma that we've been in, and because of the feelings of pain that we remember. And it's taken me a long, long time to even speak about this, but I think some things just need to come out, and some things need to be revealed, and some things just need to heal. And it's also taken me a long time to also understand that, you know, We are not our money. I'm not my money. And I refuse to have money have such an effect on how I look, how I present myself, and who I am as a person. Because at the end of the day, we are all going through so much. We are all going through a lot of pain. If it's not money for you, then definitely it might be a honey for you. It might be a lover for you. It might be family for you. It might be just the feeling of you just not enough and you don't feel worthy. And this is the feeling of scarcity, that you do not feel abundant, you do not feel worthy to be in spaces and places that make you feel whole. You may not feel worthy to sit within your soul. And trauma can really have an effect on that. So I want to iterate in this message that it's important to heal your trauma. It's important to heal your trauma. It's important to, go to seek advice. Sometimes in life, for if you grew up like me, it's hard to afford psychologists, it's hard to afford therapists, it's hard to afford these things. But it's important to know that you can always find a therapist in God. You can always find healing at a church. You can always find healing in spirituality, in practicing meditation, in practicing how to pray. You can always find a therapy in writing down your thoughts, in praying, in really healing. And there are many great people on YouTube, for instance, that are, really give a lot of information about how to heal, and this is the season where we have to shift from working from our trauma to really healing that trauma. My favorite person, for instance, who I like to check out on YouTube is Dr. Ramani, especially if you grew up around narcissistic abuse, and especially if you grew up around isolation, alienation, depression, oppression, suppression, recession. There are, those are the teachers that actually give free insights online, and this is a very important thing to connect yourself to that, to get into your groove of trying to get clarity, because through clarity, you receive a lot of integrity, you receive a lot of confidence again to be who you need to be. So yeah, these are very sensitive topics to talk about, but it's also very important to talk about these topics because trauma creates an identity, and it really creates it steals our joy. It steals everything that we're working hard towards. It steals the finances, it steals the love, it steals the marriage, the love life, the social life. It steals the confidence that we wish to have. And through trauma we can be so bonded and so hostage and so hostile as well. And we project a lot of pain to the people that want to support us. And it's very, very important to have these difficult topics, because if we don't have these difficult topics, then how are we to heal as a human race? As how are we to heal our pain? How are we to heal and move forward in life? Yeah, these are my stories. These are my topics. And I just want to let you know that, trauma does have an effect on your income. It does have an effect on how you receive information, insight, and how you sit with it. Yeah, I'm in a transition as well of also healing these traumas, and realizing that it was never my fault that I grew up with toxicity and toxic families and toxic aunties and toxic people. It was never my fault that I grew up in poverty. It was never my fault that I grew up in isolation. But it is my responsibility now to heal this revelation, to heal this insight, to heal the things that are trying to steal my income and steal my joy and steal my whole and steal my soul. It is my responsibility now to wake up every day and to feel worthy in some way. It is my responsibility to respond to my ability. for receiving love, for receiving things that are valuable for me. And I hope in this video you can understand what I truly mean. You are not who your bank account says you are. Just remember that. You are not who your bank account says you are. You are not what your past told you you are. You are not what that ex-lover said you are. It's important to realize your worth and realize that when we speak about our traumas, this is the first step of healing all that pain, okay? And I pray that with this pain, may you turn it into gain. May it heal you and may you feel healed with this video. I will speak to you in the next video. My name is Bianca Tusi. I'm also known as Honeybee. And thank you so much for listening to me. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will go into deep detail about this topic. But for now, let's just leave it as it is. And let's just also heal these traumas, that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay, but it is your responsibility now to heal and to reveal certain things that have blocked your income, your information, and insight. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.